Okay, let's get into it. We're diving into IPL 2025, match 41, Sunrisers Hyderabad against Mumbai Indians over in Hyderabad.
Yeah, a really interesting setup for this one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
MI were flying high, 3 wins back to back. They were looking, pretty dangerous.
Absolutely. They had that real momentum going.
Yeah.
SRHH, though, different story. They were kind of struggling, lower down the table, really needed something to click.
Mm. Definitely felt like a big game for both sides. MI wanting to keep that winning streak alive, cement their place. SRH, well, they were pretty desperate for a win, weren't they? To try and turn their season around.
You could sense that. And looking back, MI had the historical edge, too. I think it was 14 wins to SRH's 10 in their previous matches.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So history favored MI a bit, but then came the toss, and, well, things got interesting straight away.
Right. SRH won it, decided to bowl first.
Yeah, and apparently the thinking there, was that the pitch wasn't quite the usual Hyderabad run fest. They were expecting something maybe a bit lower scoring, like perhaps 180 might be a decent score, not the 200 plus we sometimes see there.
So put MI in, try and restrict them on a potentially trickier surface. That was the plan, anyway.
Exactly. But it didn't quite work out like that when SRH came out to bat, did it?
Oh, not at all. It was, frankly, a bit of a nightmare start for Hyderabad.
A complete nightmare. They were, 24 for 4 inside the power play? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just crippling.
24 for 4 in those first 6 overs where you absolutely need to score runs. That's, wow.
Yeah, and I heard that was actually their lowest power play score of the whole season. Tells you everything, really.
It really does. How do you even recover from that? Your whole game plan is just out the window.
Well, exactly. If you thought maybe 180 was par, suddenly you're just scrambling to get anything respectable on the board. The pressure must have been immense.
Huge pressure. Every dot ball feels like a hammer blow. But look, amidst all that chaos, Heinrich Klaasen, he played quite an innings.
Oh, Klaasen was outstanding. He really stood up when they needed someone. 71 runs off just 44 balls.
Yeah.
That was proper counterattacking stuff.
It really was. 9 fours, 2 big sixes. He just decided, right, I'm taking this on.
Someone had to.
Yeah.
And thankfully for SRH, he found a bit of support from Abhinav Manohar.
Yeah, Manohar chipped in nicely. 43 off 37. Hit a few boundaries himself. Couple of sixes, too, I think.
3 sixes, yeah. That partnership, it was pretty vital, wasn't it? Stop it from being a total train wreck.
Definitely. It dragged them towards something. But still, 143 for 8 in 20 overs. It just felt light, didn't it?
It really did. Especially against a batting lineup like Mumbai's. You felt they needed maybe 20 or 30 more runs at least.
And a big reason they didn't get there was, well, the MI bowling attack, led by Trent Boult.
Boult was absolutely superb, especially with the new ball. Just unplayable at times.
4 wickets for 26 runs. That's a match-winning performance right there. No wonder he got player of the match.
Deservedly so. Those early wickets he took just put SRH immediately on the back foot.
Yeah.
He set the whole tone.
And it wasn't just him, though. Deepak Chahar bowled well early on, too, didn't he? Picked up a couple.
Yeah, Chahar was effective, added to that early pressure. Hardik Pandya chipped in with a wicket later on, too. It
Yeah.
felt like a really well-rounded bowling effort.
It did. Everyone played their part. And a quick mention for Jasprit Bumrah, too. He got his 300th T20 wicket in this match.
Oh, wow, 300. That's a massive milestone. Just shows his quality and consistency over such a long time in this format. Incredible achievement.
Incredible. So, okay, SRH managed 143. MI need 144 to win. How did the chase go? Smooth sailing.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they lost an early wicket, but overall it felt very controlled. And Rohit Sharma was key to that.
Ah, yes, the captain. He played really well, didn't he? Anchored the innings.
He really did. 70 runs off 46 balls. That's his second 50 in a row as well, so he's finding some good form.
That's huge for MI. When Rohit's firing, it just gives them such stability at the top, even though Ryan Rickleton got out fairly early.
Yeah, Rickleton went for 11. And actually, that wicket was Jaydev Unadkat's 100th in the IPL. So, a little milestone for him amidst the SRH struggles.
Right, a small silver lining for Unadkat. But then Rohit found another partner in Will Jacks.
Jacks came in, looked pretty decent, got 22 off 19, kept the scoreboard ticking over. They put on, about 64 together?
Sounds about right. Yeah, that partnership really broke the back of the chase, didn't it? Took any potential pressure off.
It did. And then after Jacks got out, Surya Kumar Yadav walked in.
And that was pretty much game over, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. SKY just does what SKY does. An unbeaten 40 off just 19 balls. Some ridiculous shots in there, as always.
Just takes the game away so quickly, makes chasing look effortless sometimes. That finish was explosive.
Totally. And you look at the power play comparison, MI were 56 for 1, SRH were 24 for 4. That tells a big part of the story right there.
Huge difference. MI built a platform. SRH just couldn't.
And that final partnership between Rohit and SKY, um, 53 runs, wasn't it? Unbroken. They just cruised home.
Yeah, cruise is the right word. Won by 7 wickets, and they still had like over 4 overs left. Very comprehensive in the end.
Really was.
Yeah.
When you think back, those key moments, Bolt's opening spell, definitely. Klaasen, Manohar fighting back for SR.
Even on Glimmer, yeah.
Just a glimmer. But then Rohit's controlled innings and SKY's explosive finish. Those were the match-defining contributions, really.
Absolutely. And hearing the players afterwards, Boult just seemed happy to contribute, keeping it simple.
Yeah, typical Bolt. Hardik Pandya sounded pleased, too, talking about the team clicking, Rohit and the bowlers doing well, trusting his captaincy instincts. You know, the usual positive vibes when you're winning.
And Surya Kumar, I saw he mentioned his wife being there, giving him motivation, always nice to hear. And he credited Rohit for making his job easier at the end.
That makes sense. When the required rate is low and the guy at the other end is set, it gives you that freedom to just, well, express yourself.
For sure. And it ties back to what we heard about Vittori's assessment. Maybe SRH misread the pitch slightly, or perhaps MI just bowled exceptionally well to make it look harder than it was.
Could be a bit of both, couldn't it? Maybe the pitch was slightly different, but MI certainly exploited whatever help was there brilliantly, and SRH just couldn't adapt after that terrible start.
Yeah, it really ended up being a story of two teams on very different paths right now.
Definitely. So let's wrap this deep dive up. A big, commanding 7-wicket win for Mumbai Indians.
Their fourth win in a row, which is impressive, and that pushes them up to third in the table now.
Right, and it's getting really tight in that middle section, isn't it? 4 teams all on 10 points, I think. The playoff race is properly heating up.
It really is. MI look like they're peaking at just the right time, finding that consistency they maybe lacked earlier.
Which is exactly what you want heading into the business end of the season. But for SRH, well, it's the opposite story, isn't it? Still stuck down there. Another loss at home.
Yeah, the struggles continue for them. It's tough to watch sometimes. And it really makes you wonder, what can they do? That quote you mentioned earlier, it'll take something remarkable for them to rise up.
It really feels like that, doesn't it? They need more than just 1 or 2 players firing. They need a complete turnaround, and they need it fast. It's a huge mountain to climb from where they are now.
It certainly is. It'll be fascinating to see if they can find any answers in the coming games. A really dominant performance from Mumbai today, though.
No doubt about that. Good chat.
Yeah, likewise.